Hi guys, today I would like to talk to you about this Philips moving video portable VHS, VCR and TV combo unit. Now, I have not seen this unit documented anywhere on YouTube, at least so far. There only seem to be a few pages online documenting it. So I do not know a lot about it other than the things that I was able to learn just by using it. But I'm gonna show you around the unit, and what I think is most interesting part, I will show you this unit working. Because, yes, it is fully functional. At least it was the last time I took it out of the closet, which may mean we will have a surprise later in the video, but we'll see when we get to that. Now, let's begin by a quick tour of the unit itself. Now, as you've probably noticed, you can already see the control keys on top and the telescopic antenna. Now, on the sides, you can see this unit is pretty well equipped with inputs and outputs. Notice that it has two headphone outputs, which I think is a great idea if you were to use it either in public or in transportation, maybe in a car, if you wanted to use it with somebody. You have a modulator input, or at least I think that's what it is. I don't really know what this part is doing, if it's really an input. It probably means actually that you plug a modulator to it, and you could connect this unit to a TV that has only RF output. Then of course we have a DC jack, which irritatingly is outside positive, which got me confused a couple of times. Then we have something they call an accessory connector, and I'm willing to bet this allows you to connect an external camera to this unit, rather in the style of early 1980s separate systems that used a portable VCR that you carried around on your shoulder. You also have your regular video and audio inputs and outputs. You have the system selector that allows you to choose between PAL and SECAM, and you can actually select your source for recording, which can be either the internal tuner or the line input. Now the top of the unit, as I said before, has the controls for the tape mechanism. Here is the power switch. Here is the record button, your usual rewind, play, stop, and your tracking control. The other side and the back don't have anything interesting on them. On the bottom you find the battery compartment. And this unit uses regular lead acid batteries that were common on a lot of camcorders back in the 80s. So now for the more interesting part, let's get this thing open and see what we can do with it. So here's the unit open, and you can see some more controls that were hidden when the lid was closed, namely the channel switching buttons, the volume control, which is single for both headphone outputs. You have, of course, your cassette door and the eject button, which is electrical, so unless it's powered you cannot open the cassette door. You have a button for timed recordings, which is pretty advanced for a portable unit. You also have audio dubbing, which is even more uncommon on a portable unit, I would imagine. You have a button that's labeled clear, and honestly I have no idea what that thing does. And the same with the button labeled sleep. It might have something to do with an alarm clock function maybe, Again, like I said, there's very little documentation on this thing online, so I do not know what that does. You also have a button labeled clock display, which I assume is the same function that some camcorders have, in that you could overlay your date and time on the recording. Again, not sure on that. Then you have some buttons used for setting the clock, and buttons labeled channel memo and channel search. No idea what these things do. And then a counter reset and counter memo button. Please excuse my hand covering half of the screen. So let me grab a power brick and we'll turn this thing on and see how it performs. I also hope to God that you don't see a lot of the junk that's behind me in the reflective screen cover. Okay, so now we have the unit powered, and when I press the power button, there you go, works. So let me just show you this wonderful 1980s LCD screen in its full glory. Let me see if I can make it any brighter for you. And you know what, let's not watch static, let's watch a tape.
Krzyk protestu.
There you go.
Ale siedzi zbyt blisko gniazda.
Plays
Dziewka jest wyczulona na zagrożenia,
beautifully.
a młode samce pawianów są
And to be honest with you, let me just turn the volume down on this. I'm actually surprised how well this LCD works. I mean, this is 1987, so I would have imagined it's gonna be blurry, it's gonna have all kinds of ghosting effects and whatnot. It's really not that bad for its age. Now, when it comes to the VHS mechanism that's inside it, I'm pretty convinced that it comes from a full-size VHS camcorder. When we open the door, get the tape out, not that easy from behind of a camera, and if we look inside, I think I might have to get the camera off the tripod, or maybe not. You can see it uses the typical small VHS-C head drum, and I'm pretty sure if I looked through all my VHS cameras, I might actually be able to identify the mechanism that's used in here. So overall, a cool little system, very interesting, seems to be quite rare, especially in a condition that's pretty much fully functional. I was not able to test the TV portion of it because there are no analog broadcasts here in Poland, and I didn't get to making any kind of modulator, and I do not own one, so that's not tested so far, so I don't know if it's gonna tune into a frequency. I also haven't tested the accessory input-outputs on the side of it, so I don't know if that works. But yeah, cute little device from almost 30 years ago. Pretty advanced for its time. Whoever was able to own something like this in the late 80s must have been a pretty lucky guy, I'd say.